So it's important tonight that we have the Thrive Together event because we've been able to bring together people of different faith or of no faith.
It's important to bring people together, I think. When people see there are other people who are interested in topics like them, then that already gives them a sense of not feeling isolated. I think that's one of the biggest challenges that young people are facing today is sometimes a sense of isolation. Whether it's mental health, whether it's politics, whether it's health, whether it's religion. Having people to talk to who are similar to you is very important, and more importantly also is having people to talk to who are different to you. So you start to get a sense of balance and a sense of diversity in views. I think that's important.
As a GP in London, I absolutely recognise that mental health in young people is such a priority. These are our next generations of leaders and professionals, and is part of an important part of our community. Because I think it's something that even now still has a lot of stigma around it, especially in spiritual communities. Tonight's event is important because it's just so wonderful to see people from all different faith communities and different backgrounds coming together to discuss this really important issue of mental health.
We actually went into some different faith groups and kind of delivered some mental health workshops.
We do talks to faith groups, so we've gone to Christian churches and we've been to Sikh temples, so it's something that we're really passionate about. So when we heard about tonight's event, we were really excited that something's being done on a wider scale.
We know that people of faith are just as susceptible to mental illness and distress and anxiety and depression as anybody else, and it's really good to sort of normalise that.
I think sometimes getting the help early enough can be a really big challenge. Like often the waiting lists are very long, particularly for early intervention services, and then by the time they've got to the top of the list, they've gone into crisis and then they kind of need to be bumped up to.
In mainstream services, what we see is that especially people from ethnic minority groups and communities are represented much later in services, so they don't often access early intervention.
Often we see young people presenting with mental health complaints, but at quite a late stage. Often they would have struggled for months and maybe years, and that's a real challenge because all that time was spent in pain and difficulty.
I think one of the challenges as a CAMHS clinician working in CAMHS has been sometimes getting the family on board. So you may have a young person that might need support or a service or intervention, but sometimes getting the family involved or to actually work with the young person, because actually working with them as a whole will be more effective. So that's one of the challenges sometimes in certain communities.
About 3/4 of the England and Wales population has some kind of religious belief or religious affiliation. So we know that a significant proportion will have some contact with faith settings, with a faith leader. So if we can increase awareness of mental health and mental illness among the faith community, then we are able to then capture those who will not engage with mainstream services.
I mean, there are many things I think in faith communities that promote well-being anyway, just through community life and service to others. But I think perhaps what faith communities need to do is to actually develop more strategies and spaces where these things can be discussed more openly.
That's what actually some faith groups are doing, actually getting professionals or groups like us to come in and talk to the young ones, and the Sikh temple actually got us to speak to the parents as well.
So we know that about 1/4 of young people who need mental health services actually get that service. So for the rest of the 3/4, they are left without the support they need to navigate through the distress and the challenges that they're experiencing. So again, having dialogue with young people means that they can share that information, that there is help out there, there is support available, and also it means that we are building a generation of young people who are able to talk about mental health and mental illness, so that hopefully bit by bit we are trying to work at tackling the issue of stigma that often may prevent people from accessing services.
So we know that a lot of faith communities are reaching out to get outside support to come and educate some of their congregations and their communities.
I think it's only through that sort of acceptance and oneness that we can help each other, and communities can play a really active role in.
I think it's more about getting everywhere to be open-minded about talking about these issues.
I think going forward it would be great if we could get more faith groups, getting professionals in or other initiatives or charities to come in and talk to young people and parents about mental health and to work together collaboratively within the faith community and professionals.
Thrive London put this together and we're really grateful for this opportunity for actually bringing together community groups and interfaith working so that we can realise and understand what each other is doing and learn really from each other's work. Have an opportunity to listen, to converse and to understand each other's perspective. This is going to be the first day of tomorrow.